Galatians, the 6th chapter, beginning with the 7th verse. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. The one who sows to please his sinful nature, from that nature will reap destruction. The one who sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Now, we've all heard, you will reap what you sow. Usually we hear it as a warning. And yeah, we do need to be warned about it. This is a universal law. It is not unique to Judaism or Christianity, the idea that you reap what you sow. Almost every faith recognizes the truth of this. What you get out of life depends largely on what you put into it. If you are going around looking for bad things to happen, bad things will happen. And you'll notice every single one of them. And if you are going around looking for good things to happen, good things will happen. And you'll notice them. Now, the truth is, bad things happen when you go around looking for good things, and good things happen when you go around looking for bad ones, but you miss the ones you're not looking for. I have a problem that my eyesight is so bad, when I take off my glasses, I cannot see my glasses. And if I don't remember where I put them down, sometimes it's difficult to find them. Sometimes even if I do remember where I put them down, the dog has jumped on the table beside my bed, and it doesn't matter that I remembered where I put them down, because they're no longer there. But it is very hard to find something when you're not looking for it. And if you're not looking for good things in life, you're less likely to find them. When I'm missing my glasses, I rarely stumble across them. And usually if I do, then I need to go get a new pair because I just broke them by stumbling across them, literally. But every religion in Buddhism and Hinduism, they call this karma. You put good things out into the universe, good things come back to you. Scientists recognize this as the law of cause and effect. You do these things and these things happen. Even computer programmers have a name for this. They call it GIGO. G-I-G-O. That stands for garbage in, garbage out. You make a garbage program, you're going to get a mess when you try to run the program. You're going to put a good program in, you get a good result at the end. The other message that we learn from this, though, is every seed we plant, hopefully, will ripen, will grow, and will need to be harvested. And that's not just true for the good seeds that we plant. And we have been, as a culture, as a society, planting seeds in our political discourse. And it's harvest time. And most of us aren't happy with what we're harvesting right now. But we have spent years, decades, planting seeds of division, planting seeds of hatred. And we are reaping a harvest of suffering and violence. And we ask, how did this happen? Well, look back on what we planted, what we have been planting. And we need to ask, not how did this happen, but why did it take so long? One of my favorite stories about Ronald Reagan was he was asked to speak at an award ceremony for Tip O'Neill. Now, he and Tip O'Neill were opponents when he was president, and Tip O'Neill was the Democratic Speaker of the House, and they argued all of the time. And somebody said, well, how can you go speak to honor your enemy? And Reagan looked and goes, Tip O'Neill's not my enemy. He's my opponent. He loves America as much as I do. I just think he's wrong about what he thinks is best for America. And he thinks the same about me. Reagan knew the value of civil debate in a democracy. He knew the danger of demonizing his political opponents. And he refused to do it. We've changed as a nation since then. Peaceful political debate is a rarity these days. Name calling, saying that your opponent hates America, those are much more common. And those seeds have ripened. What do we do to end it? We have to change what we plant. We have to change crops. If we don't like the plants we're getting, we plant something new. If we don't like the harvest we're getting now, we have to change what we plant. Now, here's the hard news on this. Most plants don't grow overnight. Unless it's Jack's beanstalk, most plants take seasons to grow. Some take years. There's a story that the Great Hall in Oxford at the university, the ceiling is made out of ancient oak trees. It was made almost 500 years ago. And there's a young man who got a job at Oxford, and he was taking care of the Great Hall, and he asked the old man he was working to replace, he goes, what happens when these need to be replaced? And the man goes, come with me. And they got in his car and they drove out into a woods that was owned by the university, and they got out of their truck and they walked back into the woods for about a mile. And they came to a strand of oak trees. And he said they planted these here 500 years ago when they built the Great Hall. Therefore, when they need to replace the ceiling. Now, the people that planted those trees got no benefit from them. They planted trees that would live long past their lives, would benefit people they never knew. And I think of my grandfather who had an apple orchard. And in the last years of his life, he was still planting saplings. And he knew that he would never pick an apple from one of those saplings he had planted. He knew he wasn't even likely to be able to rest under the shade that those apple trees would provide, because it was going to be a while before they provided it. Some of the seeds we plant sprout quickly, others in a season, and others take lifetimes. But we can change not only our harvest and our family's harvests. We must help to change the harvest that our nation is fighting right now. We must plant seeds of peace. We must plant seeds of unity. We must plant seeds of love. And as Paul warns us, we must not grow weary. We may not live to see those seeds ripen, mature, and produce a beautiful harvest. But if we contribute to the seeds of hatred, of division, of violence, that harvest won't come. Harvest time is now, but we can already plan for the next harvest. Choose your seeds wisely. Our final hymn is number 692. God will take